Fibromyalgia is known as one of the most misdiagnosed and misunderstood conditions today. And if you've been following any of our other Facebook Live videos, you've seen there's a lot of discussion. And one of the most common questions people are asking is, how do I know if I have fibromyalgia?
Right, and some of you watching may be asking yourself if you've been misdiagnosed with fibromyalgia. In either case, pay close attention to this video. At the very end, we're going to give you a very useful tool that's going to help you better understand what it is you're experiencing. Hi, I'm Dr. Casey.
And I'm Dr. Morgan. In 1986, there were 16 medical clinics around North America and Canada that came together, and they wanted to determine the diagnostic criteria for fibromyalgia. But it finally happened in 1990 when a committee from the American College of Rheumatology came together, and they proposed that the diagnostic criteria be that somebody be experiencing widespread pain. They also determined 18 specific points on the human body, and when you touch them, they're considered tender points if they cause pain. And so this individual who'd be diagnosed would have widespread pain, and 11 of the 18 predetermined points would be tender to touch.
Right, so the common denominator for a fibromyalgia sufferer would be the widespread body pain for a minimum of 3 months, but it's usually associated with a number of symptoms. It can be associated with joint pain. It can be associated with fatigue, sleep disturbances, digestive problems, nervousness, anxiety, depression. And what's frustrating is the medical community says there's no known cause or cure.
And what's even more frustrating is there isn't one test to confirm the diagnosis of fibromyalgia. It's often based on the process of elimination. And so you're eliminating other diagnoses, landing on fibromyalgia, which can be really confusing and lead to the misdiagnosis, because if somebody shows up with arthritis and they're experiencing aches and pains, and somebody shows up with true fibromyalgia and they're experiencing aches and pains, it may look exactly the same. And so some of the most commonly misdiagnosed conditions would be those suffering from muscle or joint pains or myofascial pain syndrome.
Right. And while the medical community continues to say there's no cause or cure, the FDA has gone ahead and approved of 3 specific treatments for fibromyalgia sufferers in the form of Cymbalta, which is an antidepressant, Savella, and Lyrica, which is an anti-seizure medication. And the fibromyalgia community has expressed it time and again that they're just not happy with these answers to this particular problem.
It's true. We're seeing that in our discussions a lot.
Yeah, right underneath the videos we see people saying the same comments.
Yeah. Yep. And it's also coined the copycat condition, because there's so many symptoms associated with fibromyalgia that it could be misdiagnosed as another condition or vice versa. So you take all these overlapping symptoms with no definitive test that can confirm the diagnosis, and you're going to have a lot of doctors who are stumped, and they're just wondering what's causing the underlying symptoms.
Right. So again, that common symptom for fibromyalgia sufferers is the widespread body pain, but it's not fibromyalgia. The condition's called fibromyalgia syndrome, which means it includes a collection of symptoms that can affect individuals differently. So there is a number of symptoms that can fall under the umbrella of fibromyalgia. So these are some of those that I've listed here. So it includes headaches and dizziness, decreased sleep, an overactive bladder, depression, anxiety, irritable bowel syndrome, and other digestive problems, painful menstruation, arthritis. We're talking about pain and aches, anemia, temporomandibular joint pain, stiffness, especially in the mornings, and restless legs, and also heart palpitations. Now these symptoms here, this is just to name a few.
Just to name a few.
Right.
And we're really excited to provide you with a tool. So if you click on the link in the title to this video, it's an initial questionnaire that's going to give you an idea if you likely have fibromyalgia. And of course, we've talked about it, that there are many symptoms that overlap, and oftentimes it's misdiagnosed, but there are certain markers that point you in the direction of a fibromyalgia diagnosis.
Right. So again, I just want to make sure you get access to the tool. If you go in the subject line of this video, there will be a link. Click on that link. The link is going to take you to a modified version of the American College of Rheumatology's diagnostic criteria from 2010. So it's a modified, more simplified and condensed version, so it should be easier for you. Now, it's important for you to understand there's no definitive diagnostic criteria, okay? But it's something that's meant to be just helpful to you to better understand what it is you're experiencing and if you think you may have fibromyalgia.
It's also not meant to have you anchor to a diagnosis, because whether you've been diagnosed with fibromyalgia or not, that isn't as important as the fact that you have signs and symptoms, that there is something wrong. And so we want you to remain focused on achieving better health.
Right, and so the biggest thing, focus on better health. I just want to say hi to Nita. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. And yeah, I hope everyone else finds this tool helpful. I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. That's when we're going to do our next video.
One step closer.